We are back. So, that was downtime. Now we need a jarb. Um, yeah. So that was fun. Lauren,
Yes.
do we talk at all before we go back to work? Or is this.
Be like, past, how what happened to you? Oh, not much. What happened to you?
Well, I mean, I mean, Drav's commentary would just be like, I'm alive. Like as he's like tucking away like his like 15th knife or whatever and getting ready to go. Like, you can keep the letter. It's actually, you should probably burn it.
Yep. I think Maya's like, I saw the sky. It was blue.
What?
Yes, before the old sky. Uh,
Okay, you're gonna have to rewind a little bit. When did you see this guy?
when I also happened to see Kotar and the Emperor exchange words.
I take it you didn't buy certain savory mushrooms from a street vendor in the corner before this happened?
No, I doubt even the most fine mushrooms could induce such a vision that I experienced. I think I may have hit on Kotar as well. Yeah. Actually, probably
Mummified
didn't say
hand of fire, Kotar?
that. Yes. Yes, in fact, he gave me some information about the other parts of him and the cult that is collecting his pieces up.
I'm dead and we literally saw his physical hand. Kotar gave you information. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit outside of the loop here. Under what condition did this happen?
Uh, well, I experienced some significant burns when I first dabbled in attuning with Kotar's presence, and the Democist is
You're talking about the hand of fire that burned the floor.
yes,
Uh-huh. So when I ask you what's wrong and you say nothing, what that actually means is I suffered some significant burns.
yes, yes. I think you know me well enough by now.
Uh-huh. Strash is laughing, but Drob is actually pretty serious. He's like, why didn't you tell me?
I think Maya has to like chew on the inside of her cheek for a second and can't meet like Drov's gaze because I don't think she even knows like really why she didn't trust you with that. Um,
Yeah, it is a difficult question.
yeah, and uh, I think she like shakes her head and admits like, come to think of it, I really didn't have a reason not to tell you. I just perhaps it was I don't know, wanting to be okay, wanting to not be hurt anymore by the spirits, and yet I can't I can't seem to stay away. I'm not used to being exposed or vulnerable or weak or out of control. It wasn't
You
a lack of
have no idea how people see you.
how do people see me?
Well, most people in this building call you Heartless Tui. You're 7 feet tall. You used to be lavender eyed, and you look like a witch about to steal someone's child. Most people are terrified of you. They've seen you walk around with a knife in your chest for an extended period of time. Uh, Vulnerable is not a word that I would associate with Inspector Turi. No.
They much feel like, hmm, that is because I do not wish to be perceived that way by other people.
Well, mission accomplished.
Thank you. But no, it did not come from a lack of trust for you, Drav. I, of course, trust you. Well, probably more than I trust myself.
Just don't. I guess I think Drav like stumbles over words, which is unusual for Drav. But then what he says is like, "Look, if you know that I know that you're hurt, all you're doing is making me worry. It doesn't help."
Hmm.
I think Maya considers like confessing that when she was almost like drowning and dying in the ghost field, that she like he was the one that she called out for. But then when Drav's like, I don't want to worry. She's like, maybe I should not.
Perhaps you tell me the truth. Perhaps I should. I will not. Excellent. Good talk. I love this game. All right. I guess our next question is. So what's our next? Oh, did I mention I found out who the circle were? Drav says like, yeah, they're apparently like he pulls out his thing and he's like, yeah, they're apparently called the Seven. You know, they're headquartered in the Centralia Club. Like he like just gives you this spiel. He tells you that they're apparently like a group of people seeking the artifacts of Kotar. Notably, in your vision, the Seven and artifacts of Kotar came up, so we actually have some cross-purpose notes here. But
yes, I think I also mentioned Raffaello, like the artist.
Okay, now I have a name. Like, yeah, okay. I had a really weird meeting with a vampire. Like, it takes him a second to get the word out.
I think Maya gives Drav that look of like, really, like you're gonna worry about me and like here.
Look, I'm not injured. I didn't see a blue sky. That's all I'm saying is I had a polite conversation with a very. I won't call him an old man because he doesn't look like an old man. I don't know. I drew on a map a bunch. He told me that he wanted to buy my contract. Really weird. I got hit on by a vampire. But no, he tells you like. Oddly interesting fellow.
I can imagine.
I might owe him a favor.
What? I would rather not know.
Also, I have a new apartment, so I expect that I'm going to be forced to cook dinner at some point in the not too distant future, whether I like to or not. You're going to be invited. Should we talk about kicking in the door to the Centralia Club? Is that our next move? Or do you have a different plan?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Do we want to walk in there and be diplomatic and try to talk to them and ask real polite like if they'd be willing to negotiate a ceasefire with the Hive? Or do we want to walk in, turn everything on its head, flex some Bluecoat muscles, and, you know, be like, that's right, we onto you. Like, what's the...
Yeah. Because, I mean, we know that, like, Kotar doesn't know where his heart is. They probably don't know where his heart is. They need that other part of them for whatever they're planning. So we could just, like, leverage the whole, like, hey, like, you fucked. Like, yeah, we're on to you.
Okay.
But... and we get if we had like a little bit more leverage about like the pieces, but we don't.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think from Drav is like, all right, so let's back up a second. Like, we know that they're looking into illegal mystical goods, and that does give us some leverage because we could point out that we could make life difficult for them, right? Like, we could raid their warehouses, we could look through their personal belongings, we could keep looking for this shit. And yeah, they may have it stashed, but they're gonna have to deal with harassment on top of everything else. So, like, that's pretty good leverage, but, like, bear in mind that the most compelling crime that they can be accused of is lighting the fire in the tower. And if we tell them that, like, we can connect the two, all we got to tell them is that we're going to stick the Spirit Wardens on them. Like, those are far more effective threats.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe I'm just terrified of the Spirit Wardens. So, like, we could just talk to him, because right now, all we're asking him to do is, clearly they're the last remaining faction that's going to be backing the plays of, hey buddy, sorry, my cat's being real lovey. They're the last faction that's backing the plays of the Unseen. If we could get them and the Unseen to go to a negotiating table, they might be able to hash out a peace with the Jera. I don't actually care if they succeed or not. I only care about the fact that during negotiations there is a ceasefire. That is my goal, because that will stop the war for now.
Yes.
Which is my goal, is reduce the body count, stop fires from threatening the city, do not have more train explosions, and we can go from there. How do you feel about that?
That sounds good, yeah.
Okay, it'll
Yeah, I
also,
think go on and talk.
our clocks do not have a lot of headway, and we need a hell of a lot more headway before we can flex on Dejera and try and pin things to her, so this will buy us time. Alright, Judd, I think that's the mission.
Cool.
Go and talk
Cool,
real
cool.
friendly like to some cultists.
Are you gonna?
So are you on speaking terms with Kotar now? Is that like a thing? Can you just talk to him?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
But
So it's
that
like a
doesn't mean
one-time
that-
deal.
Perhaps.
Mhm.
I do not know if more conversations with Kotar will be in my future. The
Have you slept since?
That's a good question. I guess how much time has passed since I guess
Let's say a couple days.
I have slept.
Okay. No weird dreams?
None more so than usual. Although
Okay.
my dreams do have an element of the unreal. Skies, suns.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But the Dimmer sisters offered to help teach me to control it.
In return for...
They did not say specifically.
Sounds like a favor in the future, huh?
Indeed.
I think Drav gives you a compatriotly clap on the shoulder, like, you see, we're both fucked. He's like, even when you don't want to, this is how it comes out. I know this. This is the rules of the street. He's like,
Nice.
yep. All right, let's go talk to powerful, moneyed individuals about peace talks. Put on your nice outfit. Let's go. All right, Jed, do you want to do like an encounter roll or engagement roll, or do you want to just roll in and be like, hi, we're here to see someone. Who are we here to see? You know what? What do people know about the Centuralia Club? Who runs it? Who owns it? Quick, GM, the hard questions.
I'm sure he would either love.
I think it's going to take a roll to kind of sift through the fake.
What kind of roll is it, Judd?
I don't know.
Oh, we have to figure this out. Okay.
I don't tell you that, Strauss. You know this.
It's true. It is true. I was
I have bad habits because of you, Strauss.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Do you want to question some people, Inspector?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
All right.
So go ahead and roll that to see how well it goes, and then
Yeah, and then we'll do the engagement roll. I think.
excellent. Does my position or effect?
Or you know what? We can do the engagement roll you in, and we can do this as a flashback of like who owns it.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
The Blaze way to do things.
We're playing that game called Blades in the Dark. It's very good. We should play it. Whew. Goodness. Yeah. So you're like, what kind of? Hold on. There's a whole guide for this. It helps us. The game is there to help us. Damn it.
Is this plan bold or daring? I don't know, man. We're walking into the den of the beast.
Yeah, but there are types of.
There are new types actually for us.
Oh, are there?
I think, yeah. 1 second.
What do we got?
Operation and load. Okay, so capture, we need to know the subject location. Legwork, we need to have a connection. Patrol, we need to have the patrol route. Raid, the point of attack. Stakeout, watch point, or undercover. What is the method? Jeez. I don't think we're doing any of these. I think this is legwork, so we need a connection, which means we actually do have to roll first.
Okay.
Because it's not a stakeout, right? Like we're not watching the place and then trying to determine something, and it's not a raid. We're not kicking open the doors, and we're not undercover. Cool. So,
cool. So let's do the. I think the entanglement is do we know who the hell even owns this place before we start thinking about walking in there? Cool.
So Lauren, roll some dice, please, if you would, very kindly.
Is this club? I'm picturing. What kind of club is this like in general? Because I was picturing kind of like a casino-y, like game kind of club.
No, I would say like a private gentle person's club.
Oh, okay, rad. So I was gonna say maybe we could talk to the tarot ladies to see if they know know anything. But
no, this is out of their pay grade, I think.
Yeah, this is like the rich sections of town. No, actually, Judd, screw that. I'm going over to Brightstone and White. Which district is this club in? I'm sorry, I don't call the cops under me by their names. I call them by their districts. Because I only know the name of one, and that is...
Well, that's not true. I named them all.
Crop. Crop is the blue coat from Night Market, the one that I replaced Ishmael Comber with. So he's the only one whose name I know. But which district is the Centralia Club in?
Yeah, it's definitely one of them that wasn't named because they weren't real. Maybe they weren't real useful.
Yeah, they weren't. But now I'm gonna play that card.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Brightstone.
Awesome. So I'm gonna go and sit on Brightstone. I think I literally do that. I think that for the most part, I have the like little scrum stand-ups every day with all the cops, and then when I'm done today, I'm like, you get to stay behind and talk to the boss.
Yeah.
And I say
maybe you don't even know his name. You just call him Brightstone.
Yeah.
You know it?
I think you know what? I think that's true 90% of the time because like Drop has a lot of distaste for him and White Crown because he went to talk to his boss and she was like, I know they're useless, but we have to keep them. That's part of the contract I had to do with their district in order to get this whole project off the ground. And Draft was like, I understand, boss. We'll keep them on. I'll just consider them ignorant idiots and work around them. And so, like, he just calls them by their district name. But today, he actually went and looked this man up. I like, pulled files on him. I know his, like, wife, where his kids are, which school they go to. Anything that I needed to leverage to push on him, right? So, like, and I'm just like... You get to stay after, and then I actually, like, drop his full name, including his middle name, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah. Awesome. His name is Kalir Watt. W-O-T-T.
Yeah. All right, Collier. Today you get to earn your pay. So I'm basically gonna say like, here's the deal. Like tomorrow, which is like when Maya and I need to go and deal with all of the shit. I say you're gonna show up in the morning, and you're gonna have the following information for me, and I don't care how you find it out, and I expect it to be thorough, and I expect it to be accurate, because if it is not, then we're going to have a very different conversation. I ask very little to nothing of you, so this is the one time I expect you to do your job. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
What does he show up with tomorrow morning?
Um, so like, what exactly do you ask him for? Like, you say like, I want
Yeah,
everything on the Saturnalia
yeah.
clock.
It's in your district and you need to know. And if you don't, well then fucking find out fast. Pull every contact you have, call in your markers, get this fucking done.
Do you want to make a roll to see how much that inspires him? What do you think?
I'm actually I would be happy to make a like I don't know how he takes it because they don't know. Tell me a little bit about him as a person. Is he here because somebody wants him out of the way, or is he here because his daddy's rich and wants him to have a cushy job? Because I would approach it a little bit differently.
Uh, you know that he's here because he's a nephew of Roland Watt, who's a magistrate.
Okay. So Roland Watt made some deal with the inspectors and
Yeah.
got him a sign here. Okay. Yeah, I think I will try and inspire him, and then if he fails to be really
Cool.
effective, I will put the fear of Drav into him. So,
Cool.
all right, cool. Let's do this. Can I relate to this gentleman at all?
You
Probably
can.
not.
Yeah.
I can try and
How,
exploit him actually.
okay.
Because I feel like if he's Brightstone and he's attached to a magistrate, he's probably I can't really relate to him. He's not a blue coat in the sense that I am, right? Like he's not a pavement hitting like lower citizenry caste worker that works for a living. He doesn't have calluses on his hands.
Right.
So let me exploit this little fellow. Nope. I roll total poop.
Cool. So I'm going to interpret this failure a little differently than rather than say like he comes back and he doesn't have anything. I'm going to say that that night you're woken up by Brightstone Bluecoats, by a Brightstone Bluecoat who's sent to your apartment, who says,
this is my old apartment, right? I haven't
yes.
moved yet. Excellent.
Yeah, you haven't moved yet. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds great.
And they say, and he says, and the blue coat is like, hey, we're sorry to wake you up. We thought you'd want to know. Khalil Watt's body was found about an hour ago.
Who's the investigator on the case?
And no one's been. I mean, you mean the blue coat?
No.
There hasn't been a mandate set yet.
Tell him that Inspector Tui will be there shortly.
Yes, sir.
And then it's like a sequence of smash cuts of like Drum rubbing like water on his face, like brushing his teeth or whatever furiously, and then like walking across the city, and then like pounding on Maya's door. Where does Maya live? I have no idea.
Oh, that's a good question. Where would she live? I feel like she got set up with an apartment through
Through Issa, yeah.
through Issa, right? So it's probably not. It's probably like not terrible, but not like super fancy.
Yeah.
So
I
okay,
picture
well,
like
you said apartment as opposed to house, right? I was expecting a house, but an apartment sounds good. Is it the kind of apartment that would have like a night watchman? Whoop, sorry, my phone. Is it an apartment that would have like a night watchman or something like security on the front where you have to like ring in, or is it the kind of thing that's like just like a nice apartment that you have to go up several floors?
Oh, I know. I'll say it's the latter. That sounds neat.
Okay. What does it look like? Like how many stories is it? How many people live in this?
Oh yeah. Well, it's probably yeah. There's probably like a fair number of like Civarosi families living in it.
Okay.
So there's like probably like some rugs that are out over balconies to like air out and that kind of thing with like Civarosi patterns on them. Scent of like Civarosi cooking, even though it's like super late at night.
What district is it in?
That is a good question.
I picture like a hip part of Silk Shore.
Yeah.
Like you know, a place where you can like go and get like a decent cup of coffee and like sit out in the street and like talk to people about interesting shit. I don't know. That's what that's the vibe I got.
That's a good vibe. I can picture that totally because I used to live in that district. It is like, yeah, that kind of hipster coffee place, but also like
yeah.
If you go down the wrong alleyway at nighttime, the chance of being mugged is quite high. Yeah. Yeah, right. So I think that's some apartment in Silk Shore. I think her apartment's probably like 3-4 stories up. Like it's rather high up. One of her neighbors is she's probably up because like one of her neighbors is playing music.
Can so yeah, I think I'm waking you up at 30 minutes after I was woken up.
Yes. I think Maya opens the door. She's probably wearing she's definitely wearing like the Civarosi equivalent of like what should I call them? Like soft pants or like
yoga pants.
Yoga pants. Yeah. Like definitely sort of a dress down, still like sort of a Civarosi clothing, but very casual. Barefoot. And I don't know if she told you where she lives, or is there like a
that's a good question. Do I know where you live?
It's probably accessible like on the work register or something, right? Like there's like a or yeah. No, I think you probably know where I live. Yeah. Maya trusts you enough to know that you
like I don't think that I've been over for tea or something, but I might know where. So yeah, so like Drav walking here is not normal. And I think what I'd say is like, okay, so I think he like blinks twice because he's not used to Maya being in like not normal garb, but just says like, I have a dead Bluecoat and we should probably go. I think what he says is like, we've got a dead Bluecoat. You may want to put your inspector garb on.
Maya takes a deep breath and nods and says like, well, I have tea on if you would like a cup before we leave.
Now we're going to need something stronger. I have a feeling this is going to be a long one.
Excellent.
I'll get his coffee. And he just whirls around and heads downstairs to go find one of those delectable coffee shops and try and figure out what the hell their word for venti is. Because he's just like, coffee in a cup. Is that a can you figure that out?
And Maya like shuts the door, and then like sort of 10 minutes later, like she's like got all the cloaks on and like the like mini layers and like all this stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey Judd, we have an actual honest to God murder now.
I was almost dropped something about yes we do.
But I don't think he actually accidentally tripped and fell into the river or whatever.
So you he's in an alley that's between a few high buildings. It's in kind of the ritzy shop district of Brightstone, which this time of night is mostly closed, unless somebody wants to hire it out so they can do their shopping alone, which some really rich people do. But most of them are shut for official business. And yeah, he's there. You know, they've roped off the area, and it's weird because number one, there are not a lot of people around, which is odd in Duskval because it's such a cramped place. But as you get to Brightstone, it's just like, I mean, even you've had some cases in Charter Hall, right? But even that, it's still this sense of people are everywhere. And there was still this idea of like, you know, even in the Penderin case, which was in a pretty ritzy part of town, and Penderin was technically a Lord Penderin, it wasn't in Brightstone, and it just is different. It's the police basically put up these blue lanterns on posts that like they don't put up rope or chains. They put up these blue lights on tripods that tell people to stay away, or that there's an investigation going on. Please go around. But like people don't go away. They like walk up and they're like, "What's going on here, young chap?" They're like, "Oh, a blue coat." Actually, they don't even say blue coat because blue coat is slang. He says, "I'm sorry, sir. A city watchman fell from a roof, and we have to look into it, make sure because he has links to the Justice Tower." "You mean the old Rowan Tower?" And he says, "Yes." He was like, "I think it's terrible that they've reclaimed that. It's just ridiculous that the Rowan's name has been slandered like this." And he's like, "Yes, sir. We're very sorry. We're sure this will be out of your way in just a bit." And he goes, "Very well, very well. I don't want to get in the way of the constabulary." And he's like, "Thank you, sir." And he's like, Is that the chap under that blanket?" And he says, "Yes, sir. He's under the blanket." And then like that's when like you guys walk up. He goes, "I'm sorry, the inspectors are here." He goes, Of course, of course. Who's the inspector on the case?" And he goes, "Sir, that's City Watch information. I couldn't tell you." "Well, I'll talk to Magistrate Watt about it tomorrow. Is what I'll do." I've spent some time at some of his parties." "Yes, sir. Of course." And like the guy like stands and watches for a bit. Fuck it. He just stands and watches while you two walk up. And the blue coat on the case comes, says, "Thank you for coming. I when I saw he was assigned to City Watch liaison, I called the Justice Tower right away."
Thank you for the prompt inquiry. What happened? Can you give me some eyes to...
It looks like he fell from one of these. It looks like he fell from one of these roofs, but why was he even up on these roofs? All these shops are closed. Like none of this makes any damn sense.
Well, to me, it makes a little sense if you replace the verb "fell" with another one.
Pushed.
No other. No witnesses. Did anyone hear anything? Nothing.
We're sending people around, but this is the shop district, and this is the merchant's block. It's just at this hour, there's not much around.
Very well. Can you get us to the roof?
Yes. And he takes you up some fire escapes to a nearby roof.
Before we go,
Nice.
can we take a look at the body?
Sure.
Yes, let's do that.
Is there anything interesting or unusual about the body?
No.
I think it's interesting because, like, if you remember episode 1, scene 1, Drav is, like, trying to keep his head down, stay out of the way, and, like, people are just, like, walking all over the bridge with blood friggin' everywhere in the cobblestones. And now Drav is just like, what are you doing with this blanket? Don't you know that you need to, like, keep the crime scene as it is? He, like, pulls the blanket off and, like, throws it at one of the Bluecoats. Like, don't you even know basic procedure? It's, like, a stark difference, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
We we didn't want passersby to just be able to see this horror.
well, maybe you can do your goddamn job and tell them to get the hell out of your way.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I totally don't expect him to listen to me. But I
Yeah.
mean, well, I don't know. Is that guy like a private or a constable or whatever the hell? Like, I'm a
He
sergeant.
says-
I've got
he
sergeant
says-
stripes.
He says, "Yes, Sergeant. Sorry about that."
Inspector?
Is it worth doing it? So can I do an observe roll to notice anything, or is it just like nothing? Like it's just like a dead person.
I think it is just a dead person. If you tell me, like, if you can describe what you're doing, we can maybe make a roll, but like, not necessarily just.
Are there weird marks on him? He's not like lit on fire. There's not.
No, no.
It doesn't look like
There's
his
no,
neck was snapped beforehand.
Yeah,
all that
no,
stuff.
no. It's just it looks like he died from a fall.
I think I on the way up, I like take a couple steps back because Drav is like trying to build a rapport and a relationship and just sort of like, look, man, I'm sorry. The inspectors are very particular about this, particularly when our own are killed. We gotta like do this by the book. You know how it is. Like, and I work with every district, so it's kind of a deal. You know.
Flashback to like the leader in court, and the cops are like, "Bet you didn't do this."
Yeah.
Or the attorney.
Cool.
Sure, Sarge. We understand.
Can we look around on the roof, see if there's anything?
Yeah.
So I'd say do an observe roll for that, or is it kind of like, yeah, is there stuff up there, like upon investigation?
Make a roll. Make a roll.
Okay.
I'm curious to see what comes of it.
Yeah, I think we see like Maya doing that slow, like eagle-eyed sweep of
I'll assist.
the top of the roof.
I'm gonna spend a stress to assist you.
Nice. The wind is like fluttering a bit in her cloak as she like stalks the rooftop.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a controlled. I think it's controlled limited.
Controls limited. Okay. I think I'll live with that. Oof, I got a 4.
So you have to try a different approach, or you do it with minor consequence. Judd, what does that look like? Like, what is it stymieing just a simple observe approach? What could we do to go risky or try a different approach?
You could attune.
Oh, God damn it. That was Maya's first thought, bitch. I think like
Like you're looking around this like pristine roof that's cleaner than like some kitchens you've been in downtown, and like you're just not finding shit. And you can like feel the case pressure pushing you to attune.
yeah. In fact, I like to think if I pick up the ghost monocle, right, like I do a swift brief inspection. It's like you can see kind of like the ectoplasmic like print
Right.
of
Yeah.
if there is something here, kind of like I bet you'd need to sort of dig deeper if you wanted to know more.
Yeah.
I think Maya drops the monocle and it sort of like swings against like her chest, and she looks to Drav and does Drav like intuit what she's about to do, or
Sure. Let's say I do, because I've seen this happen enough at crime scenes. This is now the third crime scene where you're about to do the thing that I'm expecting you to do.
yes.
I think he just puts a hand on your shoulder and says, like, be careful. the last two times you did this, didn't go smoothly. Because he's thinking back to the Pendrin case, right? Like where you got sucked in and the like wizard was there and it was all terrible. And then he's thinking back to the like touching the handprint where you got like burned, right? Like he's like, I think he makes a joke, showing that like the question that he asked you wasn't taken in like bad faith, because what he says is like, I really want you to actually come out and say that you're all right this time.
I think Maya nods and like,
Good luck. I can't assist with the tune. I'm sorry, I don't got nothing.
So good. I think Maya like turns away from Drav to do it because I think she does feel a bit guilty about like not being upfront about what happened to her. And then I think she like picks up the monocle again on like the chain instead of like squints like through her, closing one eye to and like attunes to the ghost stuff.
You can mark special armor to push.
Yes, I can. I will do that.
Cool.
What is my position? I guess it's risky.
It actually escalates more than that. It's going to be desperate. It's going to be desperate standard.
Mark XP.
Mark XP. This is. Oh.
You do it, but there's a consequence.
Oh no.
So there's an ability called Warded. It allows you to mark special armor to ignore the consequence of arcane abilities and such. It is potentially a good investment. That's all I'm gonna say.
Definitely. I'll make a note.
Yes.
Although more attune is probably gonna be more helpful right now.
It's a good thing I am not so much experience points.
You see Keller Watt walking actually crawling on the ground on the roof, and he clearly can't see. And then he like gets up and like looks like he can see something, and you see him just stumble off the roof. And the consequence is that as you see him stumble off the roof, the same envelope of darkness goes over your eyes and you can't see.
Oh, I think that's the second time in the space of a few days. Maya like does like the draw and like sort of like calls out for him as she like loses her sight.
This is where I remind you that it's very dangerous, but you might be able to resist.
Yes, that is something I can do. I feel like I should do it.
How do you resist this?
How do I resist this? Ooh, what is this like? Oh, I know. I think like if I am allowed to get a bit like story gamey with the stuff on me, I feel like Maya's first instinct is to like try and rub at her eyes, and of course like I get like the darkness is still there, and I think we see her grope around like in her cloak, and like her hand fumbles on like a flask of like this strange colored liquid. It's probably also like sort of a velvety like deep indigo, and I think she like sort of spills it on her hands and then like wipes her at her face again to sort of like try and dispel like the fog that is clouding her vision.
Yeah.
And like the liquid goes everywhere and on her clothes and like sort of spills on the ground as she's like desperately trying to cure her vision. um,
So you're going to resist. The only question is whether you trauma.
yes.
Very risky. What is this, like, savvy for having, or is this like conviction? No, I don't know. What is this resistance?
I guess it could be. I have 3 dots in both. So,
Looks like you have 3 dots in everything.
yeah, almost like I planned that. Yeah, but this is like a savvy, like sort of
Right, let's do it.
having the way, like having the presence of mind to.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's a trauma.
It's a trauma.
And good news, your stress clears.
Yay!
So, yeah, you reach into your cloak and you pull out this flask that you brought with you all the way from Severos, and it's a demon bane elixir. To push away the influence of demons who can take away your senses. And yeah, you rub it in your eyes and you can see it clearing up, but clearly your brush with it is, you've had a brush with a demon, straight up. It tried to rob you of your sight.
It did rob her of her sight. She just happened to have a counter agent on hand.
Yeah.
It's like a snake bit you and injected you with venom. The fact that you have anti-venom.
Right.
Yes.
Jesus.
And
yeah.
I appropriately ticked haunted as my next trauma.
Awesome.
I just got rid of my grandmother and now I'm haunted again.
That's little. Only a little. I mean,
Only a
did
little.
you like suck in Kotar's flames into your little like soul prison and shite?
Yes.
You're definitely not keeping the spiritual influences at bay here.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, what does the rest of the scene look like? I mean,
Are you asking me?
no, I'm asking Lauren. Because like, according to trauma, it means that you can't take any more actions in this scene, but you'll be back in from an okay next scene. So like, it's not a big deal. But like, in terms of actual story, it is a big deal, right? Because like, if Maya, like, does she panic? Does she just want to sit? Does she like stay on this roof? Like what is the situation, right? Like, because like Drav's reaction is based on how Maya handles this whole shenaniganry, right?
Right. Yeah. I think like what it looks like to Drav anyway is like Maya for sure is like has the panicked, like shaking, heavy breaths. Her face is wet and stained indigo. And she like sort of swings around to look at him, and I think she just like
Is she like facing the like off by a foot, or like I don't know how much of your vision returns and how quickly, right?
Oh yeah, that's just, yeah. I guess she like, I like the idea that it returns slowly. I guess so, like her and I think like Maya like can't say the words like I'm not fine. But kind of just like shakes her head like, oh, things are not good. And yeah, I think she's a hard time like sort of coming up with words to it. Like she wants to say like, I'm sorry, like I should have been more careful, like I am not okay, I need help, but she can't like get those words out. She kind of just like sort of is trying to seek out Drav.
Yeah, I think, I mean,
Yeah.
I know he's there. He's like, you know, he's like, hey, calm down. You got to tell me, like, I can't tell what's wrong. What is the blue stuff? Like, he doesn't know. He has like zero normal alchemy knowledge. He's like, I know quiet oil because we used that on a job once, you know, but like,
and I think like and I think she like grips Drav like when she like feels him close, and I think she just says like I don't know what sort of demonic spirit possessed that gentleman, but we're looking at demons and
Oh, good. That's the best. No, I think Drav's response is like, okay. He goes, I'm gonna help you sit down here, and I need you to like. Actually, no. What he says is, I'm gonna lead you down to the ground floor, so the same thing doesn't happen to you.
yeah.
And then I'm gonna make sure that you have like a crate or something to sit on, and like you have like a coat around you, and I make sure that you have like a glass of water or something, and then Drav just like turns around and goes to the fucking Bluecoats, and he's just like, I expect to see an entire squad of spirit wardens here in the next half hour.
Spirit wardens?
Don't, stop talking to me, start moving. Here, now, go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's demons involved. They're gonna want to know.
Cool. Awesome. So we've been playing for a while. Do we want to end there for the night?
I'm okay with that. Because I have a feeling
yeah.
that we're gonna swerve. Instead of walking into the Centralia Club, we're just gonna follow this guy's footsteps back, see who he met with, things like that, and track it down.
Yeah, and I feel I think we might need Coil back.
Yeah, I'll reach out. I'll reach out to John, and I'll see if he's in for another round. Because now we have actual demon spore, and I think if he's not, I think that the people that we need to talk to are actually the Silver Nails, because they all have Ghost Fighter, which means that unlike me, they can strike at spirits and demons. So we may have to run this job with some of your fellow Severosi on board.
Sounds good.
Well, awesome! This was not a tense session that was mostly in downtimes. Jesus! Whoa, Spectre almost went blind. This would have been awesome. Oh, boy.
Plus, now we can go to John and be like, we need you, not just for your party.
Yes! Yeah, we still just
are you both one trauma away from being gone?
No, she has two. I am the one that's on my last one. This game. This may be our last case, Judd. I'm just saying. We'll see. We'll see. This does not end well. All right. Thanks you folks in chat for sticking with us. Let's do some XP.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot we do that.
Cool. So, I'll go first if that's okay.
Yeah,
go for it.
You honorably did your duty in service to the Imperium, or you did what's right. Yeah. My rightness was a little questionable. I talked to some vampires and shite, but I think that I definitely did my duty to the Imperium, right? Like, I'm
definitely
investigating corruption, I'm tracking down actual culprits, I'm working clocks, and I feel like all of that is adding up, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I think that Drav hammers his beliefs and drives home a whole lot. And you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas. Now, I will point out that I did not overindulge. However, I think that there was actually some very dangerous traumas coming into play here, because there are times when someone's like, here's a map, would you like to show me what you do? And a Drav without obsessed would totally be like, sorry, I can't really help you. Do you want me to paint you some districts? Like, Drav, who is obsessed, on the other hand, creates a horrific sketched monstrosity with notes for Lord Skurlock. And then when Lord Skurlock says, are you reckless? Drav says, yes, I'm reckless. Let's shake hands on that. So I will argue that I get the XPs.
Totally.
I think you get one for just walking into Skurlock's house, and then I think you get another one for drawing the Drav map.
I think
Right.
that map was actually like in the intro song for the season, because like obviously the new case is like season 3 or
Right.
whatever,
Right.
and like everyone's been like, wow, there's like a really cool high res map of Duskfall with all sorts of notes and stuff, and then they're like, oh, that's the map. So
That's the map. That's why all throughout the credits there's blood spraying on it. That makes sense now. It all makes sense.
All right, that's it for me. Maya, take it away.
Right. Okay. Yes, honorably did your duty in service to the Imperium, or you did what's right.
It's getting a little hard to tell what the service to the Imperium is these days, but you did get to see and not murder the Emperor. Does that count?
Yes. Yeah. And of course, there's investigating the murder by getting in touch with demons. Yeah, I think that's at least one. I think.
Cool.
Expressed beliefs drives heritage or background.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was all my downtime.
Yes.
And the willingness to sort of pay a lot of coin to help out some. Oh yeah, that was when we did what was right. We pulled stuff out of our pocket to help out those folks so they had a decent place to live.
Yeah.
Oh, we did the right thing.
We did the right thing.
That's right. The wraiths are gone. That's right.
I for sure struggled with issues from backstory trauma during the session because I did trauma, and then I feel like everything I do now is really reckless. It's just like, oh yeah, I tuned to the ghost field. Sure, what the fuck?
You flirted with Kotar.
It's very reckless. That's me.
XP. All right. Shall we look at our mandate?
Yep, I got it up. Enforce the law or advance the progress of the mandate. I don't know anymore, man.
Well, I mean, let's talk about it. Did we ever enforce the law? I don't think we did actually this session.
No.
What was the other one? Progress the mandate?
Yeah.
The biggest I will argue yes on that account. We did get the wraiths safely secured, which has weakened the position of the war, and we are looking into what it takes to figure out that the hive is dirty.
Yeah. Yep. No, you did a bunch of things. Yeah. And you got names for the circle and the flame. You did a bunch of things.
See, this is why we do the XP, Judd, because it's important for us to actually be like, are we still on Target or did we wander off completely?
Right.
Not that I mind wandering off completely, just...
I don't mind either. This was definitely like a bizarro game in a good way.
Oh, yeah.
Contend with challenges above your current station.
Nah.
This was a zany one for that. Yeah.
Yes, we did. Definitely. A lot.
Cool. You got demons. You got an advancement, just so you know.
Woo!
There's one in the hole. Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. Yeah, you totally did that. I mean, you did right by the wraiths,
and
which is awesome.
We got to call out our reputation and have it work.
Yeah. So that's 2 more. And express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of your crew.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, if you don't earn 2 XP for that, what are you doing?
Right. So yeah, you've got an advance. So you got one in the books.
So Lauren, let's have a quick chat.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 possible things that I would look at. One of them is we can just take an ability that gives us +1d to resistance rolls right now.
Yeah.
Because both of us are playing with fire. So maybe that doesn't hurt. 2, we can start working back up our mastery if you're planning to get Attune 4 before the end of this shenanigans. On the other hand, if you're pouring all of your XP into new powers for getting cool Kotar Flame stuff, then maybe you don't care about that, and I'm okay with passing on that too. And 3, an Imperial Pardon might be nice to have in our pocket in case we need to shuffle someone off the board or handle an issue.
I love how often Strash loves having an Imperial Pardon in the pocket.
I mean, Judd, it's super important because, like, I don't know how we save Lissa otherwise.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I think I am so good for either an Imperial Pardon or +1 the for resistance rolls.
The other thing that I like having an Imperial Pardon in my pocket for is if the Spirit Wardens are like, oh, were you demon touched? Well, I guess we have to burn you. Then we can just be like, no, she's forgiven for being spirit touched. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. The Empress says it's cool.
It's fine.
P.S. Get lost. So
that is, yeah. Oh, those are both really, really good choices. I feel like the Imperial Pardon is probably like a good thing to have on hand for when we need it, and then like the bonus to resistance, like that's more like a longer term thing if you want to sort of save Drov. I think that's what I envisioned.
Save Drov.
Save Drov.
All right. I don't know. What do we? I'm not in danger. I'm at 1 stress. I'm totally fine right now. I say every time right before I trauma, but I think I'm okay. I've been playing kind of cautiously. I've got some decent dice. I've got 3 resists in a lot of the categories, so like I think I'm all right for the moment.
Okay.
I'm thinking about picking up an ability like you did Attune, which might give me 4 dice in at least 1 category, but we'll see.
Nice. Should take a pardon then in the meantime.
Okay. All right, done and done. Judd, we have decided the thing. We're finished. All right. That's it for XPs. I think the at this point we say our goodbyes to our lovely viewers. So yeah. Hey folks, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming to visit the channel. I have been Strash. You can find me on Twitter at StrashA. Next week, depending on when you're watching this, how about October 9th, I will be in San Francisco at lovely Big Bad Con. So if you want to meet me or talk to me, you should totally show up and be like, hey, I love your Bluecoats show, or whatever. And say hi. I will also have this ash can. If you hand me $10, I will hand you one, as long as supplies last. I have no idea how many we should bring, so I'll bring like 20 for me and 20 for John. And yeah, that's it for me. Lauren, take it away.
Yes, I'm Lauren. I use she, they. I'm at the Stray Kiwi on Twitter, and I have a website which is thestraykiwi.com if you want to learn more about me. Oh my god, I'm starting to having a hard time like coming out of that intense game and like coming into like real life after that. Holy crap. I likewise will be at Big Bad Con in a week or so. So likewise come say hi. I am always down to chat. I will likewise have copies of Girl Underground, but my copy is over there, so I cannot show you. But Girl Underground is a game I co-wrote with JC Ross about a curious girl's adventures through a strange and wonderful land with her fantastical companions. So if you missed a Kickstarter or are curious and want a copy, I'll have physical copies for $10. And yeah, I think that's all for me. How about you, Judd?
My name is Judd, he, him, and thank you for joining us. That was really nice to have an active chat. It's a lot of fun. Our chats are always really, really nice and enthusiastic and a pleasure to interact with. You should give both of these people money and buy Perseus and Girl Underground because those games are amazing. And I podcast it's called Daydreaming About Dragons, and you can search those terms and find it. And I talk about this game and doing prep for this game and things that occur to me after watching this game's episodes later and stuff like that. So and different games, all kinds of games. So anyway, come join me and join that conversation. and that's about it. This game is, wow, that was a gonzo one. That really was. Whew.
All right, folks. We should see you again in 2 weeks. Thanks again for hanging out.
Yes. Take care.